glucagon. It acts on the liver primarily, but also in the adipose tissue. So it goes to the liver so that it can promote the gluconeogenesis and glycogen breakdown and decrease in glycolysis. And in adipose tissue, it can also increase the activity of adipose triglyceride lipase, and that leads to more non-esterified fatty acids in the blood and reduced malonyl-CoA. So glucagon, well, let's do a practice question. 16-year-old boy is fasting 16 hours, normal blood glucose. Which of the following best describes the primary actions of glucagon during his fasting state? So the correct answer is going to be it's going to stimulate, oh no, the glucose is gone, stimulate gluconeogenesis. That's what it does. Okay, so boom, that's a correct answer. Let's dive in. It's called the fasting hormone, right? It's secreted by your alpha cells. I remember this by saying, the glucose is gone. Alpha cells, the glucose is gone. And so what do you do when the glucose is gone? You got to make some more. So gluconeogenesis acts on the liver. That's why it acts on the liver, right? And then it also acts on the adipose tissues as well. Because in the adipose tissues, that's where you break down the fats. You got to activate the adipose triglyceride lipase so that you can have more fatty acids in the blood and you can have less malonyl-CoA. And that allows fatty acids to enter the mitochondria, and then you can have awesome ketone production. Woo! So what you need to know from first aid about this is that glucagon acts via the GS protein. So it increases CAMP, and that causes your pKa, and you have glycogen breakdown, so that's glycogenolysis, gluconeogenesis, lipolysis are all increased. Decreased is glycolysis in the liver, and also malonyl-CoA is decreased, and beta oxidation and ketogenesis is increased. So let's look at the other answers. Inhibits hepatic glucose production and increases malonyl-CoA. So inhibits glucose production. Glucagon does the exact opposite, my guy. So no, not that one. Activates glycolysis. Well, glucagon inhibits glycolysis. That's crazy. D, promotes fatty acid synthesis. That's insulin's job. So not glucagon. Inhibits lipolysis. That's glucagon would stimulate lipolysis to release the energy. So glucagon, fasting mode, right? Tells the liver, make that sugar, gluconeogenesis, glycogenolysis. And then it tells the fat, burn the fat, lipolysis, and decrease malonyl-CoA. And so that's pretty much all there is to know. Just knowing that little tricky thing about malonyl-CoA leads to the increase of beta oxidation and ketogenesis. All right, well, that's all we got. So hopefully this was helpful and enjoyable for you guys. Oh, look at this nice little, look at them. That's so nice. Just check it out. Just look at this little GIF.